Everybody, welcome back to episode. What are we on? 5.
Yeah, yeah.
Damn, this is going quick.
I know.
This is going super quick. Episode 5 of. Is it for real? Episode 5?
I think
Yes.
so.
I don't know why when I just did that. Welcome back to episode 5 of the Modern Queer Podcast. It's your host Xzavier V with
The face.
yes, the
Yes!
face. See, yeah,
We've got a name now.
we got a name.
If you've been following along, it's been a kind of a struggle for me to get a nickname, but it's going to be The Face.
It's the face. Yes, the father and
The Face.
with the Flash. So we got a new we got our other engineer here today, John McKay,
Woo.
aka known affectionately as Roar J McKay. Shout out to him. Appreciate you for being here. Just being
Thank you.
here.
Yeah.
Didn't even know he was gonna be here today.
Mhm.
He was just here. We had some behind the scene things happen. Look at he just loving it. We had some behind the scenes things. That's an
Scenes,
scenes
things.
things happen.
Yeah.
And he just stepped in, holding it down for us. So shout out to him. So let's just jump right in this because I ain't talked to you in like a week. So like, what's been going on with you?
What has been going on with me? I've been working on my papers and stuff like that. So I have this anthropology of religion class, and
That must be a popular class.
some people do not like it at all because it challenges their own beliefs. You know what I mean?
It is the religion.
You have to
part.
take yourself out of like your perspectives and your belief out of another person's religion
True,
because they hold their religious beliefs true just as much as you would.
True.
So I'm doing on Satanism.
Oh.
I'm doing this paper on Satanism, which a lot of people are like, "Woo," because they have preconceived notions. It's so interesting what I've learned. Like, you know how with Christianity, there's whole sects of Christianity. There is with Satanism as well.
Oh, for real?
And like I compare it in this way. They're different, but they're similar in a way. Like, when people do bad stuff in the name of Christianity, people don't call them Christians. But when people do bad stuff in the name of Satanism, they're Satanists. It's kind of weird though, because Satan, like people who are true Satanists are like, well, we don't do bad things. There are people that just do bad things in the name of Satanism.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
That
It's
does
like a whole
sound-
bad rap, and like there's history of this thing called satanic panic, which I can go into a little bit later. But
That's deep. But I also know, because I think just in my own research that I fell across like a couple years ago, Satan and Lucifer, like the name itself doesn't mean what I can't remember what exactly it was, but something about that name meant something about light or something of that nature. And I was like, what? I was like, how did we just flip that around for that to mean just this truly negative thing when the name itself doesn't even mean that at all?
yeah, it's like so specifically Judeo-Christian like belief in religion typically paints the devil as like this evil thing, but I'm specifically doing the Church of Satan, which is knowingly the first
Church of
organized
Satan.
religion of Satanism in 1966 by the head Anton LaVey, who made this
Give us the
church.
history lesson.
And he basically drew philosophies from a lot of writers around the devil and stuff, a lot of romanticized versions of the devil who was like, he was a protester and he was somebody who fought, against injustice, as opposed to somebody who was evil and killed
Right.
people and all those things. And
We don't know that. Oh, I won't say we don't know that. So we don't hear that story.
no, and like I believe he mentioned like the Hebrew word for Satan was Satan or something like that. Basically means the adversary or something. Like he fought against a lot of injustices, like when he fell from heaven, like all of those things. And so he drew upon these philosophies and a lot of Greek mythology too to create this religion, the Church of Satan that we know of now. But there's different sects. Like there's the Church of Satan from 1966, and now there's the Temple of Satan, which opened in like 2013. And they are the first one that have like chapters all over the United States, and they really focus on like religious freedom and like abortion rights and all of those things. They're basically using their religion to help advocate for like pro-choice and all of those
I
things.
have this expression has not changed. I've been sitting here looking like
Hmm. Yeah.
the temple of Satan.
Hmm.
Let
It's
me.
really cool. They actually are using, it's called the destruction ritual
Mm,
for like the Texas abortion bill that just passed, where
mm.
I don't know all the details or whatever, but they're basically using it to save women, like saying like if you join our religion under this ritual, destruction ritual, you can have an abortion. Which I think is really, I agree with it. But typically the destruction ritual is to destroy or get rid of things that give you negative energy, like objects and stuff. So people do this in their everyday lives. They do
Mm,
it with journals, they do burn books, they do all of these things.
that we do.
You know what I mean? And it's not anything bad and like, oh, we're summoning the devil. There's different sects that do that, but not necessarily the Temple of Satan or the
That's
Church of Satan.
that's deep.
No.
Oh, that might be because I left the window open.
Allergy season, the spring, and we'll
I
get into
got
the we'll
hot.
get into the spring.
You close the.
I've got some pet peeves with the spring, and we'll get into that.
Actually, can you close the window because it
Thank
will
you.
get colder
Oh yeah,
and we will
don't
be
want
in
that.
here
I don't want to be all chilly.
freezing. Yeah, I was hot in here earlier.
Mhm.
I was like, damn, I forgot.
Okay, well, I mean, so
Mm.
you asked about my week. How was your week? I haven't seen you in a week.
Oh, okay.
What'd you
Real
do?
quick before we get into
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
So backtracking a
Mhm.
bit. Everything was cool with Jaslyn. Like I know, and
Oh,
we learned a lot about Jaslyn and
yeah,
everything.
yeah.
How was the next day or the next couple days when y'all went back to work?
It was really good.
What did she feel about? How did she feel about the experience?
She really really enjoyed it. I think it was a space for us to talk about
Yay.
things that were important to her, important to us. Also she got to know people here a little bit more, because sometimes going to the university, you get stuck in that like
True.
bubble and that space, and I think maybe sometimes like you all had that 5 minute session where
Mm,
you talked about K-pop.
mm.
I don't know if she necessarily gets that
I
out.
don't get
You know
that.
what I mean?
I don't
So
get that.
besides her Twitter,
Mm.
that she gets to talk about it. That y'all talked
Because I
about.
did follow her on Twitter. I was like, ooh.
Yeah. So over, I mean, she really liked it.
Cool.
Hmm.
I'm
Yeah.
glad. Like I really enjoyed last week.
It was a really good time.
I had a lot of fun
Hmm.
last week.
If you didn't go watch the episode, go watch the episode after this one, of
Okay,
course.
pause
Yeah.
and go do that.
Hmm.
But my week has been busy. I won't say busy because I needed to take a break.
Oh yeah.
I was overworked. I don't know. I wasn't overworked. I had worked myself
Mm.
beyond my brain was like, no, we're done. We're done. So like after the podcast, like last Tuesday was like my last day. So I just been kind of like chilling, ain't really did nothing. Got drunk a couple days in a row. I was supposed to go. This dude was supposed to, cook me some dinner or
Ah,
whatever. Yeah,
did that fall through?
it fell through.
Damn. What was he gonna cook?
I don't know, but we had been FaceTiming and he was cooking something. So I was like, "Oh, you cook?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "So if I come through, what would you cook for me?" And he was like,
Ooh.
"Well, whatever is on my heart that day." I was like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna." So then he was like, over the successive days, he was just like hyping up his cooking ability.
I
And
have to
so I
prove
was
it.
like, "Okay, I see you hyping up your cooking. Well, I'm gonna be the judge of that when I get there." And he texted me today talking about he got to study, and I was like.
Okay. All right. You got to eat eventually, but whatever.
So like I'm of two minds. So like my first mind was like, motherfucker, you knew you had to study the day we planned this. Like, so you just got cold feet. Just say
Yeah, yeah.
you just got
Like
cold feet.
another time or something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like you know what? I got cold feet or just something. I'd be like, okay, cool.
I don't know if what if he would have said, "I don't want to cook for you." Like,
I would have been fine with
okay,
that. I'm not asking anybody to cook. It was just listen. What happened
it would have been
was
a cute thing.
it would have been very cute,
Hmm.
and I would have ate it very graciously.
Yeah.
That has a lot of innuendos.
It does. For dessert.
That's a lot of innuendos. Like, oh, wait a minute. So I wasn't bummed, but I was
Yeah.
just kind of like side eyeing it, like you knew
Okay.
you had this. Like,
So I would, for future, if you want to, get together with this person, I'd put the ball in their court.
no, I mean it's always been
Oh yeah.
in their court. I
Okay.
was just like, hey, oh, you
Open
cook?
up the.
Would you like,
Mhm.
if I come through, will you cook? He
Yeah.
said, yeah. Then I got a text, well, can we do this another time? I got to study, and I was just like. All right.
Ooh,
Which okay, so I'm gonna give him the benefit of the doubt and
yeah.
say he is in school to be a doctor, and I don't know the doctor
They're always so
school.
busy.
Yeah, I don't know that
No.
lifestyle, but I'm like, you knew 48 hours ago that we
Yeah.
was about to do this.
Yeah, you know, if you're going to be a doctor, you should need that time management, you know what I mean? And you're just helping.
It's-
You're helping
I'm
schedule, you
helping.
know, you got to schedule meetings, got
I'm
to
helping
schedule
time management and taste testing.
dinner and dessert, you know, you got to schedule those things. You know, I will say a
I hate
man
you.
that is passionate about something, I don't care if it's freaking crocheting
Mm.
frogs, whatever it is,
Crocheting frogs.
that is a check on the box for
It
me.
really no, truly,
Seriously.
truly, it truly is, and I applaud him, especially going in the medical field.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, well, I got cousins and stuff that went and did it and whatnot, and are doctors now, so I know the work that's involved or whatever. So I'm like, yeah, he's definitely passionate about it. So I'm like, bro, like, please go do you.
Mm-hmm.
We need more doctors of color roaming around this
Uh-huh.
motherfucker for sure. But you knew 48 hours. But
Well,
you
please
knew,
cook
I
for
gotta, I
me.
gotta, but you knew 48
But-
hours ago what was happening,
Oh,
and
that's funny.
my feelings is a little bit. My feelings. So that didn't happen. So I ended up going out to get drinks that night, which turned out to be a really good night. I ran into a lot of people at that
Did you
bar.
post it on one of your
Yes,
I think I seen it. Yeah.
I had a lot. I was too drunk. No, actually, I wasn't.
I need to go out with you and drink.
You do.
I haven't been out with you. I don't know. Look, we're
You
just
do.
people are different when they drink a little. You know what I mean? Their inhibitions
so
go
you know
away.
what? So I was actually thinking about this last night. So like, there's two versions. So there's three versions. There's this version of like the regular me, journalism me, all that kind of stuff. Then there's drunk me. Drunk me is
Only two.
No, there's more than. I'm gonna get to
Okay.
the other one. So drunk me is like excited, like ready to talk, like want to dance, and is flirtatious as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
That's drunk me to a T, and don't give a fuck. High me, on the other hand, is similar but very chill. So it goes from, hey, how you doing? What's going on? Oh man, what? Yeah, to, hey, what's going on? How you doing? You good? Okay, cool. I'm chilling. You know, it like the personalities of me start to show depending on the substance.
Same, yeah.
Yeah. So
I feel like when I drink, if I get drunk, I either get really quiet. I'm like really quiet, or I say the first thing that comes to my mind. Like,
See.
especially if I'm at the club, I'm the one. I can dance for hours. I can dance for hours.
I appreciate that. I appreciate men who can go to the club and dance. I
Yeah.
appreciate that because I like to
look,
dance.
people. There's a social anxiety is a thing, but there are people that go to the club and they just sit there and they're on their phone. It's like, why
Right.
did you pay? Why did you pay to get in the club?
No.
You watch it on YouTube or something if you wanted to. You know,
Okay, tell your other homie who here to pay to just go on live
literally.
and just sit there and enjoy.
Yeah, you can just sit from home and
with your drink.
yeah.
Cause I don't get that either. Like I like to dance and participate and feel the vibe and the music.
It gets a
and
little creepy sometimes. Too,
sometimes
when
yeah.
you're dancing and there's all those people.
Yeah, all
kinda
you just see
sitting
is a
there
bunch of dudes just
observing it.
up against the wall,
Mhm.
just
Little they. Oh my gosh.
looking like vultures. Like what?
Gay people are rotted in that sense. Like people, I mean, I've been to like okay, Necto. I don't know if y'all have ever been to Necto. Remember? Well, on Fridays they do Pride Night, and the rest of the nights are straight night. That's what I call them. And I've been on Saturdays, and there are men that are vultures that are like around all the women. And then on Fridays, it's the same thing. Like except for you can use. It doesn't matter what bathroom you use, which I think is really cool.
Oh,
that's
cool.
awesome, inclusive.
That's cool.
No, but there's men. There's like creepy men, and there are like straight men in there looking for women because they know that women also go to gay bars and like
They do.
hang out. So it's kind of funky. But when I dance, I'm on the floor. It's a performance. I love the attention. I love all of it.
I bet it is.
I love it all.
Oh
It's
my
one of my
God.
favorite things to do. I feel my most self when I'm out there dancing.
I can understand that. I can understand that. Like I don't dance in public, but I love like dancing at home and just like when the music comes, just like busting some grooves
In
out
the
and
shower,
stuff
it's
like.
a concert. It's a concert.
Yes, it is.
Kiss
Yes,
me.
it
What is it?
is.
Rihanna, kiss it better, kiss me better. What?
Mm.
I'm like just flipping the wet hair around and everything, almost slipping in the shower. But I make it through the whole song.
almost killing yourself in the
Yeah.
process. No, that's funny. That's funny. Yeah, so yeah, we should totally one day we should totally go out and get drunk somewhere one
Let's
of
get into some
these.
trouble, and we'll let the people on the podcast hear about it.
Definitely. Definitely. We're like, yeah. John is saying that he gonna
Yes,
he gonna
please. We'll just
record
insert some
us.
clips.
I did tell him, I did random aside,
Mhm.
but I did tell him like maybe I don't know how we make this work, but maybe sometime like when it starts getting warmer, I don't know,
Mhm.
maybe we'll just grab one of these cameras and then just go outside and just like interview bomb
Yes.
people and be
Yes.
like, "Hey, we're from the Modern Queer Podcast." The what?
Yes, I would love that.
Yeah, I don't know. Just
Like, do you know what a top and bottom is, or do you know what you know what I mean? Like something to put them on the spot, make them. What's grinder, or like,
Oh, that
you know what I mean?
Can we really do that with Flint people? though?
Yeah,
That would
yeah.
be
The thing is,
funny.
the important part is the reaction. I think
Mm.
so. We would learn fast if we aren't able to do
we,
that.
we would probably learn within the first.
But it'd be
3 or
good
4
content.
people.
It'd be really good content to get. You'd be like, ooh, like that's the lesson. Probably don't ask. You know.
Right.
Don't ask
Well,
the
you know,
question.
at least it'd be 2 of us, and it's just not one of us out there by ourselves asking that. So
Mhm.
then if something pop off, then it'd be like, what? Then we might have to. Okay.
Be cool if we could set up a table or something and like have our little thing.
Yeah,
or-
we should plan that. We should
Yeah,
plan that.
we should.
plan that.
You know,
yeah.
I have another idea, and I figured,
Come on.
why not talk about it?
This is the idea segment.
You know, once we get a lot of traction, obviously we're gonna get so much traction. So many people are gonna watch this
so many fucking
podcast.
people.
We should do like a live recording somewhere, like in a space, and the public can like ask, the audience can ask us questions and stuff like that, and we can have a conversation on stage. I'm giving him all the good ideas.
You was giving
I'm
him
itching
life
something right now in
over
his brain.
He is getting his whole life together over there.
I love it.
No, most definitely. I think who does that? Rayvon Taylor. Is it? Yeah, Taylor of the Rayvon Taylor podcast does that. He be out in like, what's that place? He be at Primate 10 and a couple other places, and he does that or whatever. So actually, he will be a guest. He will be
Awesome.
next week's guest.
Okay, cool.
Actually, him and Figure the kid.
Okay.
So they both own 2 different podcasts. So it'd be like an episode of podcast.
Okay, that's really cool.
So we'll see. Maybe we can all share some ideas, and
Collaborate,
tips.
do something.
Yeah, some shit to bring to the table. We'll see how that goes. But
Okay.
yeah, that's definitely next week's episode. Just wanted to, if you
Get
didn't know,
excited.
spoiler
Yeah.
alert. Spoiler
Might give you
alert.
insight into the world of podcasting.
Yeah, because it's like I think now, and it wasn't before, but like there's like actual people doing podcasts in this city.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Figures and the Layback Ass podcast and the Rayvon Taylor podcast and now the Modern Queer podcast, I think these 3 are like the biggest 3 at the moment.
The trifecta.
I believe so. Because I don't know. There's a 4th podcast, but I don't know the name of it. But I think the ones that come to my mind is just us 3. Whatever. So like there's people doing shit all around.
Well, I'm
the
excited to
city.
pick their brains.
Yeah,
I'm
me
excited
too.
to do
Me
that.
too. Me too. Okay, so let us enter the pet peeve segment,
Yes.
which I'm fucking terrible at because I never have anything to bring to the table on the pet peeve conversation.
It's okay. I'll get it out of you eventually. You'll figure something
Yeah,
out.
one of these days I'm gonna come in here and low-key be pissed, and I'm just the whole pet peeve section
love
is
it.
gonna be
Okay.
me ranting
That's gonna be
about
amazing.
some shit.
Okay, so it's time for the pet peeve segment. As you know, if you've watched the other episodes, it's where we usually have the guests or something complain or talk about their pet peeve, something that grinds their gears.
This is something that Neil brought
Yeah.
as co-host. He brought the pet peeve segment.
Last week, if you watched last week's episode, we talked about winter. This time, I want to talk about spring. I don't know if I can get it.
You and the hate on the seasons.
I feel like spring is the saddest season. It's always raining. It's cloudy. Sometimes the weather's good.
That sounds
it's-
like winter.
Humid.
It is a little humid.
It gets humid. Like more like toward the end of spring into the summer. It's like rainy, humid, and nasty. It's not good for my hair.
Clearly.
It's not. It gets flat.
Oh,
And allergies.
definitely the allergies. But I have year-round allergies, so every season
that
I'm
sucks.
pissed off. It really does.
So you're just used to
I'm just used to constantly sneezing all year round.
I feel like the allergies are really worse this season too, like
I hope not.
because of global warming or whatever.
I mean,
if you believe in that kind
I
of thing.
blame a lot of things on global warming.
Honestly, there are people that don't
That's my
believe it to it.
motherfucking pet peeve.
Okay, let's get into it.
You bitches.
Look,
You motherfuckers who
Go
don't
off,
believe global warming is real, the fuck? Like,
that's crazy as
you
hell.
have not seen satellite NASA space imagery that shows the shortening and the shrinkage of the polar ice caps.
I know.
And the dryage of all these lakes and shit.
In the past few winters here in Michigan have not been winters.
How the fuck is this fake news? I'm sorry, that's
Literally
a pet
though.
peeve. I'm sorry, because I'd be like,
people
what?
believe it's just a natural process of the earth, and I do believe global warming is a natural process and cooling,
we can do
but
that.
humans have accelerated that
Beyond belief.
beyond belief.
You cannot talk about global warming without talking about, at least in my opinion, and maybe we should have talked about this when the biology expert was here, but you can't talk about global warming without talking about the human impact on this planet that we're, this being that we're on.
Honestly,
just be like, what?
Because back in like centuries ago with cavemen and stuff, like all you had to worry about was methane from their shit going into the air, not like, and maybe some chemicals from fire or something like that. This is really simplistic.
And maybe not even that, because who knows what animals back then was probably eating it.
Less population, less animals. Now there's so many. One of the major things for like global warming and greenhouse gases is methane from cows' shit and farts.
I didn't know that till several years ago. I was like, what? I was
like
I
literally,
didn't know the cows was. I was like, I didn't know the cows was fucking up shit that much. Like the cows, the moo cows.
But it all goes back to us. Like we consume so much that we,
True. Yeah, no, I mean because I'm like, even just like Michigan winters have drastically changed. Like we don't even, which I'm sure a lot of people are happy about because they don't like snow. Clearly the winter hater over here. But I'm like, I just remember like as a kid and even as a teenager, just like the winters being a lot more snowy, not as cold, but but it was snow on the ground.
Yeah.
Like it was consistently snowing and we had snow days, we out from school because it's fucking -5. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's just like 6 to 8 inches outside and it's just like, okay, school is closed.
I think
like
this winter
days.
there was only a couple of days that had like a few inches to where like you have to worry about it. Which
I'm like, what the fuck? Like y'all don't think nothing? I'd be like, what? And then it be super hot. It's been ridiculously hot the last 2 summers.
Oh yeah.
And
I'm
I
not
mean
excited for that.
the sun be baking me. I'd be like, yo.
I'll walk right outside and just sweat. And I don't got a pool. I don't really know anybody that's got a pool.
What?
And the beach
Say it.
is like as a kid I used to love to play in the water, but I'll walk in the water, I'm like, yeah, and I love to tan. I love to do that.
I can see you tanning.
I do. I don't get burnt, so I can tan.
Likewise. Congratulations
yes,
for us for having melanin.
Yes.
Melanin is popping. But yeah, I'll just be like, how do y'all know? Okay, so how like this is fake news for y'all? And I just be like, what?
Candace Owens.
Oh,
I saw an interview with her on the Joe Rogan podcast or whatever, which some people praise Joe Rogan.
Oh,
which,
God.
I comment if you praise Joe Rogan. I just want to know.
Don't be bringing that energy.
No, I'm just a get away. No, but Candace Owens, like, even Joe Rogan was like, so global warming. She's like, fake news. Don't believe it. It's a big business scheme or whatever. And I'm like, I understand that, like, people capitalizing on global warming and actually they capitalize it and they actually make it worse, right? You build a corporation, it's like recycling, blah, 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 but they actually emitting a bunch of fucking greenhouse gases. But to not believe in it entirely, even Joe Rogan is like, well, like, there's a huge consensus in the science community that says, like, we are impacting it. And I'm like, for Joe Rogan to say that, I'm like, it must be.
Right, must be something.
I'm like, he usually is like, I say the facts and I remember my opinion, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
notice
it was just, she was just like dumbfounded. Because also she didn't have any proof, any facts, any nothing.
I'm like, y'all didn't watch Bill Nye growing up? Come on now. Come on, Bill Nye, but Bill Nye at least been telling us since the 90s.
Yep.
And I know Bill Nye had been out long before I had been born. Like, yeah, so
I wonder how old he is. He was old.
He was old when we was young. So he's only gotten older. Man, exactly. So
he
I'm
looks
like,
exactly the same though.
He really does.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy.
Science.
He what? 66?
66?
he not guess he not that old.
Damn.
Well,
Close to retirement.
okay, y'all probably gonna come for me in the comments with this, but white people do age a little. White people do age a little bit
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. He must put like sunblock on or something like that, you know. Honestly, sunblock is like proven to help with wrinkles and everything like that.
I mean, yes, but I remember, it's just a lot.
He's wrinkly.
He,
But
yeah. So global warming, that's what
back
probably
to
one of
global
my
warming.
biggest pet peeves. I'd be like, really? But y'all want to say everything else is fake news? Like, get the fuck out of my face with this. And then, I was about to go. I'm sorry. I was about
Do
to
it.
have another moment of
Please.
just like, how the
This
fuck,
is what the people want.
how the fuck y'all gonna come and say that? What is it? Critical race theory needs to be abolished. What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
Weirdos.
Like,
They just don't. I don't think they know what it really is, the theory of what it is, and also they think that it's going to train everybody to hate white people and stuff. And it's like, if you're scared that they're going to hate white people, you might need to like reflect
for
in
real.
the mirror. And if you think that you're the white person, specifically, they're specifically attacking you as a white person, that's an issue. Because you also have to realize, like, history has shown white people have power and power structures and are racist and are I mean, we all deal with those things, but like to not acknowledge that, that's like ignorant. That's really ignorant.
Right. I'm like, how do you, as a friend, I'm paraphrasing what she said, but it's like, how do you how did she put it? Something about how do you create the narrative and then yet get mad when the narrative gets reflected back on you. The same very narrative that you created. Like,
for sure.
This is what your people like, and people like, oh, I wasn't a part of it. And nobody's saying that you were, but it's still the fact of the matter is that on some level you are benefiting from the systems and the stuff that is in place.
For sure.
And for y'all to be out, we back to burning books, like,
yeah.
Oh my god!
And then like even the history aspect of incorporating to the true events of history, not just from like a white perspective and cherry picking certain like black and brown people to like Harriet Tubman or Martin Luther King Jr. Like there are other people that should be highlighted for their achievements and their accomplishments and that have helped push history forward. And it's just so weird, and it goes into like also the statue stuff, like presidents and their statues, and people like, if we start taking down statues, we can't put up 1,000 statues of people and everything. It's like, I don't think you're actually listening.
You're listening, but you're not hearing.
Like I had a conversation with my friend around like the statues and stuff being taken down by people, and they're like, I don't get it. I don't really get it. I'm like, well, they put it in a museum. They're memorializing the statue in a museum. People aren't asking to put up 1,000 statues of different people of color they're not doing that. They're like, and also, I don't know. I think a lot of people delegitimize like people of color when it comes to their experiences with history and all of those things. And it's like, and like white people seem to want to push back, like, but this perspective or this narrative, it's like, we're taught, like people of color are taught that growing up. They know the perspective, they know the narrative. So when they push against it or they say their actual experience, why don't you believe them? You know what I mean? That's fucking crazy.
One instance, or rather, one theory that I have about it is, that illusion of whiteness is so tough.
Yeah.
Like to break that bubble means you really have to look at the world and with critical, unbiased, empathetic eyes. And I think for so long, white people, because I'm putting white in quotes because that's just some invented shit, and that's a whole nother conversation about social constructs. When again, see, pet peeve, I'm not mad again because now I'm just getting pissed off because it's like, how do you invent these stories? You literally invented these stories and these narratives, and then you want to get pissed when people again reflect these narratives back, like, no, this is wrong.
And like, that's not the story for me. Like,
it's like, what?
It's different. We're different.
Like, But yeah, so those like okay, I do have pet peeves. Thank you. Thank you. And finally, episode 5,
Woo!
we've
We did
discovered
it.
what Xavier's pet peeves are. And it's really just societal shit.
Yeah.
It's not nothing like on an individualistic level.
Mm,
It's just more so like, what the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with y'all?
honestly.
Like, what? And, so yeah, that's definitely my pet peeves.
It's
Yay.
interesting, especially when you're aware of those kinds of things. And like
Mm.
I do think ignorance is a key in like a lot of things, but also I don't know. Do you think there's like a privilege with knowing certain things?
What do you
Like
elaborate a little further?
understanding how greater societal things work,
Is there a privilege?
like being conscious of that, being aware of that. I'm not saying yes or no, I'm just posing the question.
Is that a privilege to know?
To be conscious of like the institutions and the powers at play and all of those things.
I
And
guess
to be
that
able to like function within them
so I guess
or not
it
function.
depends on the context and the
Okay.
perspective because if we take the context of history as it's presented to us,
Okay.
then maybe back in the day I would say, yeah, it is a privilege because according to the narrative back then, it was a privilege to be able to know how to read and write and have access to stuff. And maybe on some level, in many respects, it still is
Okay.
today because not many people can go to college or whatever. However, I think with the advent of technology, specifically phone
Mm-hmm.
technology, if you did really want to know something, you really could just Google it.
Google that.
Like you really could. And I mean, cuz I think about when I go back to my neighborhood or when we talk about when we go into these impoverished neighborhoods, they might not necessarily have computers,
Yeah.
but they have phones.
Mm-hmm.
And these phones do have internet. They may not have 5G, 4G, all that kind of stuff or unlimited data plans, but they do have access to knowledge and information.
For
Maybe
sure.
not to do homework
Mm-hmm.
on, for sure, but enough to you see something on TV or you see something in the neighborhood or somebody tells you something, you be like, hey, let me pull out my phone. But perhaps maybe I'm looking at that from a privileged standpoint in and of itself.
Mm.
So,
That's interesting. I just think I don't know. I think about education, like my education and stuff,
mm,
but also I've learned about like societal things and
mm,
institutions and racism, sexism, all of those
right,
things,
right,
which
right.
people are aware of, but like maybe the nuances and intricacies and how they
Mm.
work might not be as much.
But
And
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't expect everybody to know because it's like studying that is different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, for sure, for sure. Like deep diving in
Yeah,
that
like
is
deep
like,
diving, and that can almost
woof,
be paralyzing a little bit.
woof.
You got to think about this. Let's say you know about the system at play,
Mm,
right? Like racism, sexism, and how that impacts you, but you still have to function.
mm,
Like, I don't think an individual person, I think it takes a societal sort of like, you can, as an individual, do things to, not be taken down from the system, but it
mm.
really does take a group of effort to be able to change the system.
Yeah, I think it's both. I think you will have okay, well to go back to what you just
Yeah.
said, like it definitely does require a lot of an individual to continue consciously and continuously combat what is out here
Hmm.
every
Yeah.
single day. Like
Yeah.
that takes a lot. Like and sometimes eat like even me and that's just not even related like that could be related to just I know a big hot topic around it's like spirituality right now,
Yeah.
like deep diving into that and what those experiences can mean. I mean, and sort of trying to ascertain and live that lifestyle, whether it be a vegan lifestyle,
Mm.
whether it be a mindful lifestyle or whatever, what have you. Like that stuff takes commitment, like internal commitment. It is not, and it's a hard commitment
Yeah.
because it's like you have to, or not you, yeah, you have to, and you are unlearning
Yeah.
uh everything.
spending your life like or
Yeah.
people commit their life to unlearning things that they were
Yes.
taught, you know.
And from personal experience, that shit is sometimes I just be want to be like, fuck.
No, I'm good.
Why can't I not enjoy the things that everybody else is out here enjoying,
Yeah.
or enjoy it in the fullness? Because it'd be like some
Mm.
things like I can enjoy, but then some things I'd be like, but what are the implications of this if I do this or if I go, that kind of
True.
thing. So like,
Considering maybe like other people and like
yeah,
the
that and
impact.
just like how conscious is too conscious or how aware is too aware. If even there
Interesting.
is such a thing. You know what I mean? And if you ascribe to
Like too aware not like to be scared to make mistakes.
no, not even that. In the sense of just knowing and having information of how things work and just knowing the nuances
Mhm.
and just having to apply them in every situation, every
Yeah.
minute of every day, even in your own life when you're not even surrounded by other people.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like, is there such a thing as being too aware or too conscious?
I think that goes into like us policing ourselves
Mm.
on a like an individual level when nobody's in the room and nobody's around us. Are you really yourself? Are you what people like what people in the outside world want you to be and how they expect you to be?
Okay, this is a fascinating. I want to dive deeper into this. So I'm gonna call this segment the "Who Are You
Ooh.
in Solitude." I,
Damn, that's good.
okay, I'm just
Who are
saying.
you in solitude?
Who
Think
are
about
you in
that.
solitude? So who are you? So now I'm at, like, who are you in solitude? Like when you are alone, cameras is off in the room or in your dwelling. Who are you really? Like, what are some of the things that you do or the thoughts that you think?
Oh man. Um
Yes, just for the pregnant pause.
yeah. I don't know. I think I mean I tend to overthink a lot of things,
Mm,
especially when I'm by myself and alone like and I'm like what do I overthink? I overthink about the future and the past
mm,
typically is what I do when I'm alone, like by myself with
mm,
nobody else, like no distraction.
mm.
Typically, my mind will wander. I do like my passion stuff when I'm alone. I love collaging. I love doing that, like kind of stuff. Doing furniture.
Mm,
I think for me, like it's weird when I'm alone. I and this, we our society and productivity is a thing, but for me, sometimes relaxing is being doing something productive that I like to do.
mm. They're
Um,
just not doing shit.
yeah. And the thing is, it's hard to answer that question for me because
Mm.
I sometimes, and I'm unlearning this, attribute a lot of who I am to what I do,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and it's
That's
not
true.
just like just who I am. Like
Mm,
I am me without any of the things that I do. You know what I mean?
mm,
So I'm
mm.
figuring that out. But I will say one of the things I do when I'm alone is overthink.
Who am I in solitude? Literally, I'm gonna say this is, and this is gonna sound so corny and so cliche, but it's so very true. I am nothing and I am everything. And and I know that sounds totally cliche, but I really mean that
Yeah.
because like when it's just me, like I'm doing everything. Like, and I know
Hmm.
that then you're like, well, what do you mean you're doing everything? I'm chilling, I'm sleeping, I'm dancing, I'm singing, I'm
Oh yeah.
rapping,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm doing puzzles, I'm coloring, I'm video gaming, I'm creating. So like I may do a lot of things that outwardly it doesn't seem like that I do or I get the opportunity to do. But then also sometimes I am like you, like I'm sitting and I'm sort of imagining possibilities or thinking about, some of the issues that we just talked about, my pet peeves, for
Yeah.
example. So it's just like, I don't know, I'm everything and then at the same time I'm nothing because I'd be like, why am I even thinking about all of this?
I definitely. I mean, yeah. I now that you said, I'm like, I do those things too.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
like, when
I
I'm
think
alone.
I feel like that's probably all of
But
us
yeah, yeah, yeah,
on some level.
for sure.
On some level.
I'm a simple girl. I'm a simple girl when I'm alone. I'm a simple country girl
You're a
when I'm
simple
alone.
girl, yeah. They
I
say
am.
you're a
I
simple
am a simple
country
girl.
girl.
I do a lot, so I love simplicity.
I-
You know what I mean?
Okay,
When
tell
I'm
me
at
about it.
home, I love it. Even in my room, like it's not nothing fancy. I got my bed, I got my dresser. They're neutral colors, all of the things. Like I just want to relax. I want like zen. Like I want to be in my
Yeah,
space.
yeah. I am constantly, and I really got this from my mom. Like, I am constantly rearranging shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it may work for 30 days, and
Mm.
then the next 30 days, I need a whole new energy flowing through this bitch. That means I gotta
Damn.
move this couch over here, and I need to move these mirrors. Like, my mom would redecorate the living room all the time. So I would watch her, like, just rearrange the furniture all over the place. And I would be like, that's fucking cool. And it looked so
Yeah.
nice. And so now I just kind of like have
So
to
many
like
possibilities though.
literally, literally. Okay, my mom would be like, why are you putting things in this little boxy format? No, you can set the TV diagonally to the wall with something behind. I'm like,
Was there like a feng shui to it though, or was
I don't know if it was a
okay?
feng shui for her. It
Okay.
could have been,
Yeah.
but I know it's definitely one for me. Like it's definitely a feng shui
Yeah.
moment where I'm like, and not only that, like I'm also a big person of decluttering. Like if my room or if my immediate space is cluttered, that means my life is cluttered.
They say
Bec-
that like it's a
I
representation of your mental state
I
or like yeah.
I definitely believe
Yeah.
that because I think at one point, like last August, September, October,
Yeah.
like my room it was it wasn't junky. It just had stuff in it.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, when did I accumulate all this shit? And so I was like, okay, something is wrong in my life. And I really like had to sit down and was like, okay, this is wrong. So then when I like threw shit out, it was like, I can think again. I can, okay, come on.
Spring cleaning. Little birds chirping. Sun's out in the window.
Okay, come on for the little Disney bird
Thank
singing
you.
with your country girl self.
Country
I'm not
girl.
I'm
I'm a Southern belle.
I can see that. That would be you would be gorgeous
Thank
though.
you.
We're gonna have to do something with
somebody
that.
like Facetune my face like as a woman. I look
I know you do.
good. I
I know
look
you do.
good.
I know you do. Listen, if I cut all this off, I went to just throw a wig up here. What?
Get all the looks down the street.
Would you ever do drag? Have you done drag?
I've done drag before.
I think you're right. I think you remember me saying that.
did it for a fundraiser through the university. A friend of mine, old friend of mine, they did drag and they dressed me up in drag and like I look like the off-brand Jessie J in Domino's the Domino or the music.
God help us.
Yeah, I had the bob. I can't if without makeup I look like Lord Farquaad from Shrek. I gotta be honest with you, it was not the cutest. Or like
Stop.
what's her name from Incredibles?
Stop.
No capes. Like I looked like her.
Let me push this mic for a second.
But it was so fun. Like, and my family came out too.
Oh, that's what's up.
Mom, stepdad, siblings. They came to support me, and I'm like,
Wow.
that's really cool.
That's really
I had
fucking
this.
cool.
I had this like, obviously I went to Forever 21, so I could get some like clothing or whatever. And I got this one piece that the ones that like buckle underneath you, that women get. It was neon, and then I had this like slip dress that was super tight and like see through. It was like
Ooh.
mesh. It was blue, and it said "baby girl" on it in neon. And I matched the undersuit with the lettering. I look hot as hell.
Okay.
I had some.
Okay, I'm giving him the
I looked
same
so
look.
good,
Like,
and my ass was hot.
it was
That was
sitting.
one of the selling points. I'm like, gotta do it. And I had these like nice pantyhose on. It was cute. It was real cute.
That's hot.
Somebody did get me like walking. The Sasquatch photo.
Mm-hmm.
Like I look like that in one of the photos, but the rest I look really good. I had like the bullhorn, and I was like, "Let's go, everybody!" And like we were walking like it was a march and stuff. It was good.
I'm not even. I would like doing drag is like I would like to do that at least one.
Yeah.
one good time just to see how I would look
Mhm.
like in full makeup with like a wig on and whatnot, and maybe some heels. I ain't wore heels since I was like a little kid or whatever. I don't know. I'd be like,
Do you know what your drag name would be?
No.
I made this scrapbook for my friend and I, and his name would be PJ Bottoms,
That's
like
hot.
PJ Bottoms. And I was like, I said Saltina Cracker would be mine. Saltine Crackers. We always come up with drag names or whatever. I'd want
Saltine
something sexier than that,
crackers.
but
You should definitely have something sexier
something
than
more
that.
elegant,
I
sexy.
don't know what my drag name would be. We'll have to find out if we don't get to it sometime
I honestly
today.
think Xzavier would be a good like drag name.
That's too much. That's too much to my name as it is.
But you want it separate, a little bit more separate.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Okay.
It probably would be something with a V, cause that's my middle initial. So
Vixen,
like,
Vector, Vivacious. Um, Something in a foreign language. I feel like
it
be
would
good for you.
definitely
with an accent on there or
Yes.
something. You know what I mean? I think that would look that would be good.
Yes. You know what? You know what? Stick around to the end of this episode. An idea might come in my mind by the end of this
Okay.
episode. But since we're on,
Hey, if you had a drag name, what would it be? Put it down below.
okay, give us your best drag queen names.
Mm-hmm.
Come on for the drags. Come on. So since we're talking about drag queens, we have now moved into the queer segment.
Oh, yeah.
What did we
Queer
name, was
queer
it
queries.
queer? That's what it was
Queries are like
queer-
questions
queer
and stuff. Comments,
queries.
questions. Don't quote me on
Or
the
just
definition of that.
queer queries, comments, questions, concerns, shit that goes on in the queer world.
Mm.
Has anything popped off for you lately in the queerness?
Nothing really. I haven't really been on the. I was actually who I was talking to, dating. My friend, yeah, he's gonna go on a date today. I think actually.
Ooh,
He's
come
going.
on
I'm like,
for
where
the
you going?
date.
He's like, I don't know. I'm like, okay, you gonna plan that last minute? I was like, I haven't been on a date in a moment. But they're like, I think especially like being gay and stuff.
Mm.
Well, I don't know. Maybe this is applied to everybody that goes on a date. You just never know if you're gonna do stuff on the first date or not. You don't know how it's gonna be.
That's very,
You know what I mean? Unless you set the intention. You're like, we're gonna get
I kn-
pizza.
I know.
And I do that. I'm
I
that
know what you're
bitch.
talking about. Listen, all the gays know what Neil is talking about. We
You're
know.
like, I'm gonna prepare just in case.
just in case. And
If I don't get the ick, I'll do it.
And by preparing, we mean cleaning your ass out. That's what we mean. That is the
Cleaning,
preparation.
Trimming,
Cleaning,
whatever you
trimming,
gotta do.
shaving.
Nice and tidy. Taking a shower, washing your ass, your parts.
Can we? You know what? Let's talk about that. Okay, so
Straight
don't-
men.
listen.
Straight men. I'm sorry to interrupt you,
Y-
but there are straight men that don't wash between their ass cheeks in the shower. They just let the water run through.
You know what?
They don't open.
Please explain. Okay, pet in the queer curious, but also a pet peeve. Sometimes when I watch TV shows or movies, and the dudes be in the shower taking a shower, they don't never use a towel,
like a washcloth,
like
or
a washcloth
like
or
a loofah.
anything. They just rub the soap and just like rub their body down, and I'd be like, "What the fuck are you washing?"
Or
What are
like
you
people
doing?
like they don't like wash their feet, or they
Yeah,
don't.
I
like,
saw
just,
that was a whole Twitter thing. Like people don't wash their
Ooh.
feet.
They just or the like they do here and up, and they don't do the rest down.
So how did you find out that straight men don't wash their ass?
I might have a friend or two or a sibling that might have mentioned that who is straight. I can't call them out. You know who you are. You know who you are, and you
The-
should feel guilty for that.
the
No.
shade.
But I've been like, but it's weird. Like as a kid, though, your parents didn't teach you to wash your ass, your asshole. That's weird. That's interesting. Like
I
they
don't
didn't
know.
like they had to shower you at one point. You know what I,
I would
mean?
assume so.
You know, like
I would assume so.
yeah, but I
would
mean,
assume so.
maybe not
Or
everybody.
somebody would
But somebody did.
would have.
I don't know. I'm like, and I just imagine just the funk,
Oh my god.
funk that comes from that place. Because water's not gonna do it,
Water's
Water's not gonna do it.
definitely ain't gonna do it.
especially if you're not opening. You know what I mean? You gotta.
And see, this is why I switched from toilet paper to wipes.
Yeah.
Because the toilet paper wasn't doing it.
Mhm.
It wasn't doing it.
Wipes are good.
Wipes are
now they have like
beautiful.
these things called dude wipes for
Okay,
dudes.
okay.
Whatever.
Wait. Whoa. Okay. So when dude wipes first came out,
Yeah.
I said the same thing. I said, why the fuck do y'all need to name it this way for all the reasons? However, Those are the wipes that I use, not because they're called dude wipes, but because they're extra large wipes and they really like they're thick.
Do they have a scent to them?
Some of them do. So they
Like
have a
mint or
regular
something?
and a mint scent, and they're really good.
My brother uses dude wipes. That's I'm like, I don't know, baby wipes will do, those things will do.
So
And they're cheaper.
they are, but baby and okay, you're totally gonna laugh at me. So I used to get like the baby wipes, right? And it was so funny. I was watching I was on YouTube watching this Asian woman.
Yeah.
For some, it just popped up on my timeline.
Okay.
This Asian woman, she was teaching like these kids like how to wipe their ass after they shit, right? And I'm looking at she's using the baby wipes, and then it suddenly dawned on me. I said, "X, you are a grown ass black man with a big ass. Why are you using these small ass baby wipes?" And so I needed a bigger. And
you need a baby towel.
And so like that's what led me to do wipes.
Okay.
And so like the name is terrible,
Yeah,
for sure, and it definitely plays into this sort of whole masculine.
No, you can wipe your ass because
okay,
you're
like,
a dude.
As McKay over there, this whole dick jerking thing, this circle jerk affair,
Woo!
you know that straight men do.
Zoinks.
Which is a real thing.
Let us know in the comments. No, I'm just joking.
Are you a part of that group? And where do y'all do this at? Let us know. So that's when I went and I was like, okay, let me just try these dude wipes, and they do really work.
I haven't tried a bidet. Bidets are supposed to be pretty good.
Bidets, now why don't America? That's another. Thank you.
It's
for
like a
this pet peeve.
European sort of.
They
like,
have a lot of those in like Asian countries
Yeah.
too, and I'm like, why don't we have bidets? Like,
I saw somebody on TikTok the other day who he's Middle Eastern, and this is relevant to the story, but he was like, I like when I use the restroom in public, I take a water bottle because like he's like we like wash our parts when we're using the restroom, like we wash our ass, like we put water there and we wipe it up and everything. And so he bought this electric, almost looks like an electric toothbrush, or those like dental things that spray water out.
oh, water
He
pick.
bought one, and it's like pretty, like you just put it in a bag,
Yeah.
fill it, and you can
Yeah.
battery powered.
I never thought about using
Yeah.
the floss picker to.
I mean, it's not advertised as a floss picker,
mean-
but you could.
I mean, you could. Come on now.
Cheap DIY.
Okay, listen. As long as
DIY bidet.
however you clean your ass, just make sure you clean your ass.
Yeah.
That's correct. That's
Even if
crazy.
nothing's happening with it,
right.
just for your
Just
own.
a good colon.
Yeah,
Give your colon a break from all of the shit that's
that's
inside,
funny.
all of the toxins that's in your body.
I would do a colonoscopy. You ever done a colonoscopy?
No,
Apparently, your body holds a lot of shit. Like
I believe it.
it does, and so colonoscopies are supposed to help
Listen.
get rid of the waste.
I don't want. I just want to have a whole bottom conversation about that whole process, because that. First of all, shout out to all of the douching and all of the cleaning of the ass
Yeah,
that goes into having anal sex
Respect,
across
yeah.
the board.
yeah.
It's mad respect, because
Difficult, time consuming.
very much so. Okay, so tea about me. So like when I first like started discovering, like I started off bottoming.
Yeah,
I had nobody explained to me that you had to do that. I don't
Mhm.
know, and I don't even know what my mind. I don't know. Nobody explained that.
Yeah.
That hey, you need to, clean the inside of your asshole. So I might have had a moment,
couple moments,
a little moment in the beginning.
Fudge City, but just kidding. I'm sorry. I don't mean to pick on you about it, but Fudge City,
We can no, it's cool because I can laugh about
Yeah,
it now,
yeah.
because I think everybody I won't say everybody, maybe not everybody, but I think a good majority of people have had that experience,
especially like your first time. Like, if it's probably gonna hurt, and don't expect it to be perfect. Like, don't do that.
Okay, and so and then learning how to do it, and then having to do it. I don't know.
Well, there's this whole philosophy too that like
Tell me the philosophy.
if you
'Cause
take probiotics and you eat really well and nice, you don't necessarily have to douche
True.
every single time.
true.
Some people personal preference like I feel cleaner when I do it,
Mm.
and they don't want to have to deal with fudge city all over the blankets and shit, like so like I feel like it might be different if you're with like maybe a committed partner
Mm,
as opposed to just hooking up. Like
mm.
I feel maybe people would clean more often if they're hooking up as opposed to like you're committed to this person. Like I don't give a shit like we want a quickie, I'm not spending 15-30 minutes in the bathroom
These are true things.
for 5 minutes or whatever.
These are true things. But okay, like I know my ex, for example, like, and I don't know what he was doing or how he was doing it, but he was always clean.
Damn.
And I don't know what his metabolism and
Yeah.
I don't know what was going on. And I mean, he was clean, and I was just like, I mean, obviously with like little stuff here and there, but like, I was like, how the fuck?
Impossible.
How are you doing this?
That's a secret I'll never tell.
Maybe I don't know. Cause like so like when I was doing it, like I hated it. I hated it because it took forever.
Yeah.
You got as one of my friends said on Facebook the other day when he was going out, he was like, "The water's clear, y'all. I'm clear. I'm ready to."
Because that's a problem. Like you were in there, like, come on, it's still, come on,
Right,
like,
and it's
still-
like
there's a hue in there in the water, like, damn,
right, and like you gotta keep going until like it's clean, and then it's like
Make sure all the water's out.
like come on now, like. It just is never a good process for me when I've done it before.
Yeah.
And then like my stomach would start hurting
Oh,
after a
yeah.
while, which would make me have to go
Right?
somewhere.
It
So
literally.
now I'm in the bathroom even longer, and I'm like, you know what? All of this for
And then
some
like if
dick?
you're hooking up,
No.
and I get nervous. Like you get nervous, and you feel like you have to shit. What was it all for? You know what I mean? Like, what was it all for?
What did I do this for? No, literally, like,
Yeah.
like literally. I don't think we talk about that enough, and I don't think we give credit
Mm-hmm.
to the process and to the bottoms out here who do the work, basically.
Thank you for what you do.
Please, for real, thank you.
Thank you.
Leave tips, leave tips and links to the
GoFundMe for
Okay.
douches and probiotics.
Okay, what sort of bidets y'all
Yeah.
using? Like, let us know, like, for real.
Keep and straight people, I don't know if they got to worry about it much unless they're having anal sex.
Well, you know what?
but
Okay, so
and I feel like some people don't know that they have to do that. Like I know some straight people
probably
that
not.
do not know that if you're going to go in through the back door, you need to clean out the cobwebs.
Listen, that's just not women. Y'all gotta clean the back door.
Yeah.
Make sure it's clean.
Mm-hmm. Because I feel a lot of straight men like they like they want to do the back door. They want to test out the back door.
Which isn't that so funny?
Weird. I mean, it's not weird. I think they should be able to do that and everything, or even like playing with themselves. You know what I mean? Because they got a
Isn't
G
that-
spot.
Isn't that so funny?
Weird.
Hmm.
Tomato, tomato, tomato.
So okay, so y'all wanna talk about gay men getting fucked in the ass, and here y'all are fucking.
What's
women
more
in the
manlier
ass?
than that?
Right? I think didn't you say that?
I will say until the day I die.
think you said that last time. Like, what's more manly?
A
than
man
two
plus a
men
man
fucking?
equals manly. That's what it is.
All man, unless they don't identify as a man, but
Yeah.
have the male,
Yeah.
the body.
Well, if
of
you
a
want to,
man.
whatever floats your boat.
Get technical with it.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yes, and also how some straight men like getting their ass played with.
Yeah.
And
And then it's weird. There's a weird stigma behind it, but it's like that's okay though. That is okay for that
Listen,
to happen.
I'm giving these cameras all these looks this episode
okay.
because I'm like,
I give you permission. For people that are watching, I give you permission.
I mean, I give y'all permission too, but then don't go around and demonize
yeah.
humiliate queer people.
Oh, for sure.
For the things that we do in the bedroom, and y'all out here getting fingered in the ass and getting pegged with dildos by your girlfriends and your wives. I know that shit happened too. So
We're talking to you, I don't know if they'd be listening to this, but If you
First of
are,
all,
hi.
I know y'all listening on some level because I know you. Oh, I made a whole status about this. I know you motherfuckers is out here consuming queer content.
Oh, for sure.
So let's just not even play ourselves that y'all don't know that queer media and queer people exist
Mm-hmm.
in whatever fashion.
Mm-hmm.
You know they exist, and you and your boys or you and your clique. Because let's just not make this about men. You know, you and your clique have had conversations and have so many things about. I love
That
you
is
over there.
interesting. Like you're gonna complain about something, but that means you must know about it. You must have watched and seen and heard and listened to and like
Come on
came to
now.
some kind of conscious
Come on now.
decision.
There was a
Yeah,
whole mental
process.
thought process that occurred for you to have that thought that you have. So, yeah. I when I found out that straight men was getting pegged by their girlfriends with dildos, I said,
What the
"W-
fuck?
that's exactly what I said.
Yeah,
I was like,
and that's the thing. Like, I'm cool with it.
right, do
If you want,
y'all.
do it. But if you're going to then complain about queer people or
Right.
people doing anal, that you know what I mean, that doesn't make any sense.
It does
Doesn't
not correlate
the adding isn't
because
adding? It's not.
because then at that point is what's really the difference? And the only difference is that it's not a man who fucking you.
Mm-hmm.
So, but you like getting fucked in the ass. So does that make you gay? Because that's
A lot of
see.
people think that it's this weird thing because, like, I don't know, straight people or straight people with a prostate,
Mm.
people with a prostate. Yeah, I don't know how I should be saying that, but anyway, having an issue
People
playing with their prostate because they think it's gay. Like they themselves
Mm.
thinking that it's gay. That is insane to me because it's like it would just depend on who you're thinking about at
Mm.
that point, not you touching yourself. Who you're touching yourself to.
I mean, but somebody recently told me like you can still be so she said you can be gay without even the act, without even engaging in the act of being gay.
Or
So
like having sex?
yeah, with like
No,
having
I
sex with
mean,
like no action or anything, but
yeah.
you can still be gay in your mental
Yeah,
space and in
you
your heart.
still like men and
Right. So I'm like on the flip side of that, what you were saying, I wonder if the inverse can the inverse also be true? So can you play with which obviously it must be because you can clearly play with your prostate and no action has that's deep. Hold on,
I don't
I
the
just
string of
my
thought.
mind just
You need to
went
put me on the
boof.
same page because I don't
My
know.
mind just went boof. Hold on. I think my mind was just going too fast. So if I'm a straight man and
Okay.
I'm pleasuring myself and
Okay.
my prostate, but I'm thinking about a man, does that make me gay?
If you're thinking about a man to get yourself off playing with your prostate, not necessarily gay. I don't think you're straight.
Okay.
It could be something else, but
Okay.
straight defined is you like the opposite sex, you like a woman, right?
Okay.
I mean,
All
if
right.
we're labeling it that way.
That's the traditional definition, yes.
Yeah, I mean, well, come on now. I know there are people that go in and out and do, and they can do whatever they want to
And they
do.
do.
I can't tell you what you should label yourself or whatever, but you also, the people that are doing that are policing people that, queer
These is-
people forever.
these are true things.
There are people in other countries that literally I mean, you get that in the United States. You get people, prime ministers and stuff who are against gay marriage and against gay people, and they're in 50-man orgies, or they're hooking up with
Okay.
gay street workers and stuff like that.
Okay.
Like they're doing it on the low.
I got fucking little boys in the back of the church.
Yeah, that's like,
Mm.
you know what I mean? That's scary.
Mm.
And that's like hate. Like you don't like yourself.
I don't know why I'm loving this conversation because the side eyes I'm giving this camera today is legendary for me because I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
Any other queer queries?
I'm queered
want-
out. We talked about it a lot, and I'm sure the audience is like, what?
Okay.
Shock factor. If they didn't know, now they know. You know what I mean?
A little bit. Okay, so
Sorry, Mom.
I don't even be thinking about if my family gonna watch.
My
any
family's
of
gonna
my
watch.
shit.
My family's gonna watch.
Hey, Neil's family.
Hi. Don't message me anything if it's.
Okay, just message him that Xavier's hot. We'll do that.
There we go.
And then we look good on camera.
That's what I want to hear.
On part.
I'm the face. For a
Okay,
reason.
so another segment. So you wanted to talk about like just jobs and like what
Yeah, yeah.
I forgot
Well,
the.
so we were talking about before the cameras rolled and everything. We were just talking about our work weeks and work life balance is something
Oh
I
yeah,
wanted
yeah,
to talk
right, right,
about,
right,
and
right,
then
right.
like what for you makes a good job. Like
Mm,
not a position, just like the features of a job that you would want to get and go to. So like
mm,
location, if it's mixed mode, if it's flexible, the pay,
mm.
those kinds of things.
I think for me, I think what I found out, I work better um in a more contract freelance
Yeah, yeah.
base, and I work better on my own. So I think that's why what I do now
Mm-hmm.
works out tremendously better for me because I've had salary jobs where it it's so funny because my natal chart also said this,
Mm-hmm.
which I didn't know until like a year ago that my natal chart said
Mm-hmm.
this. Like when I would work salary positions or just when I would work places, I would bump heads a lot with management or like the boss
Yeah.
because I would be like, "Hey, I don't think this is working out as well as y'all think it is," or "Hey, like, can we do this or can we like bring this to the table or can we get rid of this to bring this?" And so like I would just come with like these ideas and just want to change stuff and like make stuff
You got
better
your
and
own flow and
just like do
style, and
stuff
yeah.
right. And I would always get into it with my bosses and management because they was just like, "No, like I'm running I'm running
I'm the
this.
boss.
I'm the boss. You are the employee. So like what I say goes." And so it would be like this in a real sort of way, it would be like this ego battle,
Yeah.
basically. Because it would be like I feel like I'm really trying to bring something new to the table
Mm-hmm.
to really help grow the business and feel a part of the business. And I'm being cock blocked by somebody else's
Oh
ego.
yeah.
Um
And then and maybe like for like because when you go into a job, you have maybe some personal goals too,
mm,
like things that you want to like that fulfill you within the
mm,
job. Maybe outside of the job, and if you can't express yourself and what you and maybe feel like you're contributing,
mm.
like what you said.
Most
Yeah.
definitely. I definitely want to feel like I'm making an impact in whatever it is that I'm doing. Or at least feel like, if
Mm-hmm.
I may not readily see it, feel like I'm making an impact with whatever job or whatever place that I'm working at. Cause if I'm not a person who just want to do a job, just do a job, get a paycheck and go home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, but I also need the space. And I think a lot of us are coming to that realization that, we want a place that aligns with what we believe in,
Yeah.
like our morals, our values, that can give us time and space, for our mental health. That's not calling us after business hours to turn in shit or emailing us or
Yeah.
expecting us to stay over late. Like, I just think we are demanding more than our parents and our grandparents
Mm-hmm.
did, or maybe even had the opportunity to
Yeah.
do. So that's how I feel. I just like places where I feel like I can just be me. Like if I feel like I can't be me in a space, then I get fucked. I tend to
So,
get fucked
because there's
up.
this thing of like people want this hard difference between work and home.
Mm.
So you're good with that being
So
like your
so
work personality versus your personality when you're not at work. Like you want those to kind of align more.
I think they do anyway. I
Yeah.
think so. I think the balance comes in like, so right now, like because I work at home
Yeah.
basically, except when I go out to interview people. So like I take my work home, and so what I've had to do is figure out, okay, when am I on and when am I off?
Yeah.
Like because essentially I could technically consider, well, according to the federal government, I am my own business entity
Yeah.
or whatever. So it's like, okay, if that's the case, what are my working hours and what are my hours where I'm just like, I ain't doing nothing, like I'm done. Or so like what I've gotten to the habit of is I have one week where I'm on, where I'm working, and so like every day I'm doing something, and then I have a week where I'm off.
Mm.
But a lot of stuff is changing for me at work, and so now I don't know if I could really keep that 1 week on, 1 week off
Uh,
anymore.
yeah.
So I have to redefine that work life balance a little bit more. I may be 3 days on and 3 days off kind of thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Like it's just something that I have to work for because more is being required from me. I may have got a new position.
Congratulations.
Yeah, I'm excited about it,
Okay.
but this is something that's gonna be intensive, and so that's why when we first started, I was like, "Oh, I can't. I can say it's a lot. It's a lot going on work related wise. Like, there's a lot of things that I can't say. I can. I can probably tell you off the record.
Okay.
When we shut
Off
this
the
down, I
record.
can tell you what's going on fully.
Yeah.
But like at this point, like we got a grant to do some neighborhood work, and so I got asked that I wanted to be project editor, and I said yeah.
Oh.
So now I'm project editor, which means more money, which means I'm being
More
required to
responsibility.
to
More. Yeah.
write a lot
Yeah.
more, and I'm like, okay, can I still do this and do the Modern Core magazine? I don't know. I
Yeah.
may have to do like a mid-season cutoff
Yeah.
like they do for TV shows and
Mhm.
then pick it back up when this specific grant cycle is over with.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah, that's a lot to consider, but you
It
know.
is. And by the time this episode releases, I probably something else will probably
Damn.
we will talk about this off air because something else or something else's will probably have
Well, I'm excited to hear it.
themselves.
Okay.
Yes. And what about yourself?
I was writing about it today actually, and like there was a couple features that I wrote down, and one of them was a community connection. I think is something that I find important.
Mm-hmm.
I've done some nonprofit work, and so you know, there's a lot with nonprofits, but
A whole lot with nonprofits.
grassroots organizations like that specifically, being involved in the community in a way where it's like there's a community conversation and the community influences what you do. You know, that specific work is something that I enjoy because for me, I like to see the fruits of my labor typically, and I like new and different things. And I think so that would be an important aspect. I think location would be
for sure
important for me. I if I can choose, I don't want to have to commute too long to my job, like 30 minutes max, and I'd like it somewhere in a city, like maybe not live necessarily right in the city of everything, but I feel like city, like being in Detroit and here and stuff, like it gives me energy, makes me creative, makes me feel innovative. So I would want that. What else did I put? Oh, mixed mode and flexible.
Yeah.
Now that we have this mixed mode going on where you can work from home and do all that kind of stuff, I like it because there's no need to be in an office space all of the time.
No reason, not no more.
It could be an email, you know what I mean? And then
okay, a Google Meet.
The structure of working 9 to 5 is nice, but if you can get the work done not in a 9 to 5 setting, like there's a lot of work that you can get done and not be there until 5. I would want that.
Literally.
You know?
Literally.
Especially with like technology and stuff, like, and being tech savvy. Flexibility, like I go back and forth. I want to work for myself, but also security and stuff is important for me. So having both would be nice, like having something consistent, but also working on my passion and
your
those
side
hustle. Would be nice. So like my boss, if I had a boss or if I was my own boss, like them being flexible and realizing I'm a human, so things come up, and having that flexibility in my job.
Okay.
Is something that I want, especially now the job that I have now. My boss, very fortunate, like is very flexible. Is very like, I get that you're a human being. As long as you get the work done, and I know, like they're like, I know you'll get the work done in a timely manner. You're good. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's something I really enjoy. So like on Monday, I was like, I'm gonna work from home today. Like I've got stuff to do. You know, I'm gonna get the work done, but I'm not gonna come into the office. Okay.
Yeah.
That's good. And also at my age, like having that option is, I think, really nice too. Like being 23.
I mean, it also, I don't want to say spoils you, but I feel like it should also empower you.
It does. You advocate for yourself.
Right.
You're like, this is what I look for in a job.
Like as you move forward and like apply to, other bigger and better jobs, you can, hey.
I've experienced this before. This is what I want. Yeah.
Okay. And can you provide that or no?
Yeah. I would like to think I have experience in a decent amount of things, and if I put it well on a resume and I talk myself up, hopefully I get the job that I want. I hope. You know what I mean? And hopefully I have some sort of leverage in asking for pay and all those things.
I think so because I've connecting this to the broader conversation about why can't employers find employees. It's what are y'all offering?
Yeah.
Like, what are you offering these people?
Hmm.
Like, you can. I don't think like after the pandemic and after everybody was getting unemployment money and everything else, like I don't think you can just expect people just to go back to what the
No.
way things were and expect the same sort of thing. Like, no, like you
Yeah.
got y'all are multi-million,
Hmm.
sometimes multi-billion-dollar companies.
I think
Like,
it's a sometime kind of. I hear older generations saying, "Oh, they're just living on unemployment, and that's why blah blah." It's like
mm,
that is telling that your company can't pay you a livable wage. People were actually able to live on unemployment,
right?
and it took a pandemic to do that.
Literally,
That's ridiculous.
literally,
You know
like
what I mean?
people was making more money
Yeah.
on
I who the hell
unemployment.
I wouldn't want it. The people that were mad at were they were the ones that wouldn't be able to get unemployment. They actually had to work because they were like essential, and I
Hmm.
understand. Like that's totally
Right, and shout
understandable.
out to y'all
Yeah.
for holding
Yeah.
that the fuck down.
Yeah. Appreciate it. Honestly, you should have got paid more money.
Way more money. Everybody
Yeah.
should get paid way more money.
Hmm.
Like it's ridiculous. Like no, I wouldn't have went to work either. Like what? I get this plus this, and then I was so jealous because I was like, damn, I couldn't get unemployment, and then I didn't have no children.
Damn.
Right? I was missing out on all the money. I was like, damn, this is ridiculous. But like,
Yeah.
you was getting unemployment, you was getting stimulus checks,
Hmm.
and it was just like,
Some people at the university were getting COVID relief funds, and I know I got some COVID relief
damn,
funds and stuff
for
like that too.
real?
Yeah. Yeah, like
Damn.
I don't. It's so interesting. Like people blame the individual for
Mm,
these things. It's like we should be getting a livable wage. Like people
right,
should be able to live with,
right.
and also I think the government should provide some of that too.
Listen, I am an advocate for universal basic income
Yeah,
for sure.
I am, and like there's other countries that do it, and like
Like, there's
yeah.
examples out here in the world for
Hmm.
us to be able to look at and be like, hey, it
But people are like
works.
weird into like socialism, and they're scared and all that kind of stuff. So I
Them pet peeve, my pet, my pet peeves this episode have been stacking.
yeah.
Congratulations, you got pet peeves
I
out of
yeah.
me.
I guess back to the job thing. Like
Mm,
when I was writing today, I was writing from the mindset of right now I'm like hourly work
mm,
and stuff, but I'm like I also have this dream that I will turn into a reality of like working for myself and having my own thing. So it does change
mm,
what a good job like those features would be like, I think, because
mm,
I'm looking at it from the perspective of working for a company
mm-hmm.
that's different than working for
For yourself,
yourself.
it
You
very
know what
much
I
so,
mean?
very much so.
Like you can have flexibility, I guess. You can have
You listen, you have
yeah.
whatever
You
you
just got to
want to
be
have.
disciplined to like carry it out and do the work.
And that's really what I think a lot of people have trouble with is that discipline.
Hmm.
It's I think people can do the work, but can you again go to that original question, what is that work life balance? And I think we one of the things that I feel like our generation has an issue with is grind culture. I think that's
Hmm.
I think that's killing us.
Yeah.
I think that is the 2022 version of going to school and getting a degree
Yeah.
is grinding.
Yeah.
I think we just sort of flipped it
Yeah.
and moved the energy from one thing into something else. And one of the things I be like, I don't think we understand like we are constantly feeding our energy into I gotta grind, I gotta hustle, I gotta if I gotta be up, da 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 da, and I don't think we really understanding the amount of energy we are expending with that kind of thought
Hmm.
process. And not to say that it doesn't work and it cannot work,
Yeah.
but it's not, again, like college, it's not the end all be all. Like, there's definitely a spectrum of things or experiences that can happen to lead you to the same endpoint.
And I would just be curious to maybe like interview or talk to people that are into grind culture and into working so much because it's like, do you have time to live? Like, actually have a life? outside of your work, or have you made your work your life? Like,
Mm.
I don't, because there's like, I want to live, I want to work to live, not live to work
Mm.
mentality. And like, I think on the internet, you see people who are part of grind culture have like really nice, fancy things, and they go on vacation and they do all this stuff, but like they're
It
working.
still feels like they own.
Yeah, like
Mm.
they're working a lot, and I don't know if I want that. Like, there's a idea in my head. I just want to have my own little garden, my own little farm, live the simple life, like be able to feed
Come
myself.
on, the southern
Yeah,
country.
I want to be able to do those things and not have to worry about
Mm.
working to
Mm.
live necessarily. You know, like being able to obviously support my lifestyle, but
Right.
not be committed to a job or something like that. Like I just don't want to have to do that.
Yeah, and I think definitely not be because sometimes it'd be like I don't want to post all the time
Yeah.
on social media. I don't like because
Mhm.
I don't have nothing to post,
Mhm.
and I don't want to see what everybody. I think somebody mentioned this on Twitter, and I was like, you know, what? I didn't think about that. Somebody was like, I don't think we was born to know what everybody's thinking and doing at every hour of the day.
Mhm.
I was like, I think you're fucking right. Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Like I'm not supposed to be scrolling on Twitter or
Mhm.
Facebook or Instagram or wherever else all day, every day, figuring out and looking at what everybody else is doing. Like I
True.
don't know.
It goes into things like self-help and therapy
Mm,
on the internet, like on TikTok and stuff. There are people that go to therapy and then take what the therapist says to their specific situation and regurgitates it, and then people who are vulnerable in that sense
mm.
then commit it to themselves, even though it might not have anything to do with them. Like they diagnose themselves, or like people are always like, "There's something wrong with you. You have to." And I've been guilty of it. I believe some of the
Self-diagnosis.
stuff that people have said on the internet, but realizing like, damn, things are okay, probably
Mm,
more okay than you think.
mm.
And we are all similar, but we are different. Like, not everything applies to us that people say. Some rando on the internet.
Know more about your life than you.
Yeah, that's weird.
Very much so.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, we're going to wrap this up. Any last words you want to give the people you want to hit on in our extravagant ass conversation today?
You know, thank you all. I really appreciate all the people that are here, all the returning people, all the new people.
What?
Wipe your
What?
ass.
Damn.
Um,
Damn. Tip
wash
number
your
one.
ass.
Tip number two.
And be kind. Don't be hypocrites. Um, believe in global warming.
Okay, please. Don't get me pissed off in the next
Take your
episode.
allergy medicine for the spring.
Get you some vitamin C.
Yes, vitamin C,
Some
D, zinc.
Wow, that's
Elderberry.
my country.
Yeah,
That's coming out my
elderberry.
your elderberry. Get your elderberry stuff. And likewise, live good, drink good,
Mhm.
eat good, and do a good job at whatever it is that you do. And with that being said, Lil, uh,
I know I look little. I know I look little. in the
you said you
camera.
was no longer subscribing to the Twink Life, so
Oh
I don't even want to hear
yeah,
that.
I could still be little though. I could still think I'm little.
I'm done. The face, let them know where they can find you.
You can follow me on all social media platforms. Just type in my name, Neil Kagerer, Neilkagerer. You can also follow my furniture flipping page,
What?
the Project Piece Studios
Come on,
on
bitch.
Facebook,
Come on, bitch.
Instagram, and TikTok. I have a TikTok for it as
Say
well.
that one more time for us.
Project Piece Studios.
Project Peace.
Yes, all together.
PIECE. Okay.
Because I usually do it during the summertime because that's when I have projects and stuff.
Mm.
But each week or whatever, I have a different project, furniture, whatever it may be. So Project Piece
I don't know.
Studios.
Listen, if somebody cancels, I don't know. Maybe you need to bring some stuff up in here, and we just have a podcast where I'm trying to help you build something.
Oh, okay.
Notice
Look,
I said
I
trying
work
to
with
help.
wood. Like I sand, I do all of that kind of stuff. I'll have to get a piece that we can paint or something.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
have you seen Ghost?
Yeah.
Where he's helping her with the whatever the clay
Is
stuff.
that what we doing?
Yeah, I'll help you paint a little bit.
Yeah, because I'm terrible at that. Truly am.
No, I love it. I get to imagine what something can become and actually make it a reality.
Come on, Bob
So,
Ross.
Thank you. Happy little trees.
Yes, and them happy accidents. Well, y'all know where to find me. Facebook, Instagram, under the same handle, Xzavier V Simon. That's X with a Z. Find me at www.themodernqueer.com. Check out the Patreon link in the description below. Give us your fucking money.
Please. Please.
That was rough.
Please.
And with that being said, we'll catch y'all on the next episode. Peace.
Peace. See ya.
I ain't asking questions no more. I just exit stage, left and hit the door. I just let things be, cause I ain't begging on